Take a moment and look at the deck. Notice anything strange or bizarre with it? I'm sure you recognize this as 2.6 Hog, but in 2025, a deck without evolutions just looks empty, like something's missing. And that's because ever since evolutions were added, they've become so important that decks need them just to stay on pace. But as you know, evolutions are somewhat new. They've only been in the game for around 2 years, but they've made such a big impact. But there was a time before evolutions. Back in 2016, when Clash Royale launched, it was an instant success. The gameplay loop of building a deck, taking that deck into a match, and destroying enemy towers, and repeating that process, was so incredibly solid that people thought it would never fundamentally change, or need to. So when Clash Royale dropped evolutions, a lot of things changed. Cards had multiple identities, a skeleton wasn't just a 1 elixir cycle card anymore, and a royal giant wasn't just a win condition. Evolutions transformed cards into something stronger and more flexible. Before evolutions, the strength of a deck came from 4 main things: the synergy, making positive elixir trades, the level of your cards, and having precise micro placement. It was raw mechanics, kind of similar to chess. Every card had a role, and every card had a purpose that wouldn't change. And then evolutions arrived. Back in early 2023, 7 years after the release of Clash Royale, nobody had even heard of evolutions. They didn't exist in leaks, balanced discussions, or even community speculation. The idea of a card having an evolved form wasn't even on anyone's radar. Then, in June of 2023, Clash Royale announced its first 4 evolutions: Evolution Barbarians, Evolution Firecracker, Evolution Royal Giant, and Evolution Skeletons. And in that moment, everything had changed. This wasn't just a new feature, it was the beginning of a new time, one that would reshape the meta, redefine card rules, and permanently alter how players build their decks. When those first evolutions were revealed, the community was excited, a new way to play existing cards, but no one understood just how powerful these new evolutions would become. Everybody was trying to make new decks to figure out how the new evolutions would fit. Evo Skeletons ended up becoming an instant favorite because of their ability to duplicate as long as one of the skeletons was alive. Evo Barbarians were a little bit more quieter, they helped with bridge spam, and Evo Firecracker added lingering pools of damage to increase their total DPS, and then there was Evo Royal Giant, who could literally destroy counters to him without a second thought. This was the moment that people realized evolutions needed to be in their deck. The fact that evolutions were unlocked at King level 7 meant that Supercell wanted almost everybody to have access to evolutions. Even in the low ladder, reaching King level 7 did not take much effort or time. But that was just the beginning. After seeing how the community reacted to evolutions, they ended up deciding to double down on the evolution idea and introduce 6 more additional evos to the game: the Mortar, Knight, Royal Recruits, Bats, Archers, and Ice Spirit. If you didn't have any evolutions and your opponent had one, you quickly realized that you were going to be outmatched. Suddenly, after every update, it wasn't just about introducing new balance changes, but also new card mechanics, a way for Supercell to come out with new content without completely destroying the meta. But, of course, it wasn't perfect. Okay, so picture this. It's early 2024, there's now 12 evolutions in the game and 2 evolution slots. Take a look at these 2 decks. In just a second, can you tell me which of these you think would win? I'm sure without even looking through the decks, you probably chose the Evo deck. What you probably didn't see is how underleveled the Evolution deck was. It would easily lose, but Evolutions have become such a staple that that's the first thing you notice about a deck. And that's where the balance starts to shift, because once Evolutions become normal, something else becomes quite obvious. Supercell wanted to introduce a really strong mechanic into the game, but the problem with that is that now if you don't have Evos, you're falling behind. So then you might wonder, well, how hard could it be to get 2 Evolutions? For free-to-play players, it was nearly impossible. There was basically 2 ways to get evolution shards in 2024. The first was through king levels. Once you hit king level 50, you could start unlocking evolution shards every couple of levels. That's late game. Hitting level 50 is a grind of its own. The other way to get shards was through the season shop. Once per season, you could buy a wild shard, and once you collected 6 of them, you finally unlocked an evolution. That means that you'd have to play for 6 months straight to get a single evolution. And if you wanted 2 in your deck, that's an entire year of playing. So imagine spending a full year grinding Clash Royale just to unlock an evolution, only for the deck you're running to fall out of the meta. It's sad, but it happened. If you were lucky, you could catch Supercell running limited time shard events, which helped free-to-play players, but it wasn't really enough to keep up. Meanwhile, for players with access to a credit card, it was a different story. You could buy the Diamond Pass and unlock an evolution at the end of the pass, and now in 2025, it's even easier. If you literally have the money, you can just go into the shop and buy whatever evolution you want. And as evolutions keep rolling out, players didn't just unlock them, they start building decks around them. Some evolutions were so strong that you could build an entire deck around them. For instance, when Evo Skeletons dropped, it was practically a full Skarmy for 1 elixir. When Evo Ice Spirit dropped, it could freeze for over 3 seconds, practically being a 1 elixir freeze. These weren't the only broken evolutions that dropped. Many other evolutions have been extremely powerful. Just recently, Evo Royal Ghost dropped, and that completely shifted the meta. Almost all top decks now included the card, changing how the top ladder would be played. Even now, after a large nerf to the Royal Ghost, they still see so much usage, once again showing how evolutions have changed the meta. At this point, it's clear that evolutions weren't just a small addition, they've redefined the game itself. Deck building isn't what it used to be, matchups aren't what they used to be, even the way you think about card interactions has changed. A single evolution can dictate your entire strategy, it can shape your pushes, your defenses, and how you cycle, and the meta now shifts around new evolutions the same way it used to shift around new cards. And whether that makes the game better, more chaotic, or exciting, everyone's got their own opinion. But one thing is certain, Clash Royale will never be able to go back. Evolutions have reshaped the game's future, reinvented deck building, and created a brand new strategy. Love them or hate them, evolutions changed Clash Royale forever, and whether we wanted it or not, there's no going back.